Welcome back, Crittermanders, to another episode of Cosmic Crit. This is your disaster of a game master and podcaster, aka Patrick. Thanks for joining us this week and tuning in. Just a few quick announcements this week. First off, there are 2 more weeks to sign up for CritterCon 4, aka CritterCon 2021, as a GM. If you want to submit yourself to host tables as a GM and get official Paizo support, I believe the cutoff date for that is March 20th. Any scenarios you want to GM and play are provided by Paizo free of charge, but only if you schedule it now, before that cutoff date. You can still host tables after that date, so yeah, just sign up to become a Crittermander captain and help us out. You know, if you want to host these online games, help raise money for a good cause, Doctors Without Borders, just join up our Discord and there'll be plenty of people to help you get started and get pointed in the right direction. The second announcement is one that a lot of Crittermanders have been waiting on. This past Friday will mark the return of a new fan challenge for you all. We took some time off from these, and you let us know that you missed them, but with Season 4 around the corner, it's high time we brought them back into rotation. Fans of the submission challenges in the past will probably guess what we're going to be starting with, as it is the month of March. It's time for March Monster Madness. That's right, link in the show notes on our website, cosmiccrit.com, and you can find information in the fan submission section of our Discord. You create a monster from scratch, give it a name, and stat it if you want, that's optional, but we're looking for creatures levels 10 to 15 to throw at the Starfinder cruise. So submit your monstrosity via email to us at cosmiccrit@gmail.com, and the top 3 submissions are going to get a Paizo gift card or some money for the Cosmic Crit store. And also, you might see your creation appear on the podcast in the near future, munching on your favorite player character. I want to thank everyone that has supported us in these submission challenges in the past. If this one is popular, I can guarantee you we're going to do another one. If we get a lot of submissions, we'll keep them going here and on the Patreon. We have our Patreon subscribers that are always helping us out with Dead Men Roll No Crits. But yeah, thank you so much for listening this week. Get to monster crafting, and in the meantime, let's get back to Midnight Squad and their story as they are slaying nightmares in the dreamscape once more, as this is episode 175, and we call it Rubble Jeopardy.
Episode commencing in 3, 2, 1. Episode initiated.
It's time to gather star fragments and restore Star Road alongside friends and enemies old and new in this week's turn-based Turn of the Cosmic Mario RPG Legend of the 7 Crits. This is Patrick, your GM here, aka your geriatric Magic Cooper, slinging spells and dungeon diving cage cells, looking to form a team to take on the Smithy Gang, the Giant Sword Exor. Joining the party to take turns in initiative order to make their moves are my 5 friends and party members. To my right, she's no princess, but she definitely has some peachy moves. It's Rebecca rolling with a Zinnia.
Hello.
Across from her, he's got a magic fireball locked and loaded in his cannon. It's Drew delivering Echo 7.
Put Gino in Smash, you cowards.
And to my right, this spiny shelled bad guy gets beat twice before joining Mario on his quest. It's Tyler dredging up King Davajo. Ah! And across from him, his magic attack and defense are through the roof, and he's ready to burn some special attacks. It's Jabert behind his chest. Maybe Yoshi? And across the digital table, one day this Pinocchio will be revealed as the star he was all along, while it's Miles mixing up with Sprouts. Good evening. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
I love Super Mario RPG. I want to talk about that for the next hour. Apologies. We'll see you guys next week, unless you want to hang around for the.
It's gonna be an intro heavy episode.
Hey, I've actually played part of that game. It's not very
game?
many that I've watched that I've played, but I have played some of that one.
Nice. Remember how far?
Not very far.
I mean, as great as it is, it really makes me wish that Square Enix got that kind of deal with, like, you know, other stuff. I mean, we were talking about before we started. Can you imagine how colorful and vibrant a Sonic turn-based RPG would be?
Yeah, or Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I think they did one
if they did a Final Fantasy game.
They should have really stuck with that Final Fantasy game, that first one, and I don't know, they could have had at least one or two sequels.
Yeah. I would have loved to see a Final Fantasy 2.
I played the first Mario. Wait,
only one.
No, I'm thinking Paper Mario. I did not play the original Mario RPG.
Definitely worth going back, taking a look at.
I hope
I played it when we got our little Super Nintendo, like the little tiny console. Was it Super Nintendo or?
Yeah, it was a Super Nintendo.
Right?
It's on the SNES.
And it's not on the Switch Super Nintendo thing, which I want it to be. Please put it there.
That's one of the there's a number of classics that were on the Wii that you can buy through the store, which they abandoned when they went to the Switch for some reason. They just like, I don't like money. I don't like converting games and just selling them to people every 5 or 6 years.
I love Nintendo, but that whole thing's been wild for me because they had a great store on the Wii U and Wii for buying all games.
Yeah, and it solved so many problems of regional licensing, where you can, Tyler's got the song stuck in his head.
I thought he just didn't realize he wasn't muted.
He's just very annoying. There's a lot of Japanese games that we never got over here, but came to the Wii.
I mean, literally just today, as we're recording this, 3 games that had just extremely limited release that I had never heard of before got put on the Switch Super Nintendo thing, but Super Mario RPG, it ain't there. It is what it is.
I wonder if there's some holdup with maybe them just dragging their feet on trying to make a deal with Square. That sometimes it's a matter of just like everyone thinks it's going to be a bigger deal than it is, or that it's too much effort. And at the end of the day, sometimes it's not that hard.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff gets blown out of proportion. Having watched a couple of documentaries on, especially the 90s in video games, and how many things could have been solved by like just talk to them.
I'm still surprised at how much like gamer nostalgia we're blowing through right now in terms of what's happening in that world. Just so many remakes and remasters, or revitalizing a dead thing to bring out a new thing. It's everywhere. And I'm not necessarily against it. It's crazy that it's happening. And if it's not happening in a video game, I mean, I see it both in video games, but I also see it on the other end. So many IP things coming into the board game world. I mean, there are more IP driven board games coming out than I think I've ever seen. I can't even.
Oh yeah.
There was a Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game, which just blew my mind. It's just not an IP I thought would get one. And what's crazy is the fact that it's good. It doesn't even suck, which is crazy. It used to be like, if this is an IP in both video games and board games, it was immediately like a 5 out of 10.
Well, a lot of times it's just a typical like kind of Candyland light.
Yeah, but we're not getting that anymore. We're actually getting pretty decent content. So it's kind of wild.
Yeah, it makes me think of there was like a Super Mario quote unquote board game that was like, I think very similar to a Parcheesi style back in the day. But just like terrible games, but it's fun. All you have to do now for a board game is get a hotshot designer out there to like kind of sign off on it and see a team of people to put something together. And bingo, bango, you've got a bestseller. And
I still prefer that to what happens on Kickstarter sometimes. So, which is like, how does this game look, guys? Looks okay. We added minis. Take all the money.
Yeah, that's the story of the Power Rangers board game, which was like I think 120 at launch, and then like almost every 2 or 3 months is a new box of minis, and it looks exhausting to go through.
Yeah, I remember there was like one board game I saw somebody reviewing where they had like backed it at a Kickstarter level that upgraded things from like tokens to full on plastic miniatures, and but the company made the miniatures bigger than the spaces on the board they were designed to be on. It created like a little cluttered kind of. It made the board look more cluttered and crowded than it was kind of supposed to be. And it's like, yeah, it's because they just wanted an extra $100 out of you, man.
Oh, and also I'm sure would love to see the characters made into full models, so that's not always in the cards. Quite literally sometimes. I've had to swear off Kickstarter just because it's too tantalizing to be like, you know what, Patrick 2 years from now deserves a treat.
I have also
here you go, Patrick. 2 years from now, if you ever listened to the More You Nerd when all three, Patrick, Drew, and I were on there, and we had anyone who had a Kickstarter, by halfway through the conversation, I had already like bought it. I will say
every single time. There's
a lot of we made some good friends through podcast land, but I'd go back to some of the ones that I got through Kickstarter, including Mike Selinker's card game that is kind of based on the Pathfinder trading card game, kind of like idea. He did that system as well. And it's great. His own IP was like is super colorful. Yeah, very fun. Yeah. But it's so funny, man.
Playing that example of when I bought a $90 game through a conversation.
Yeah, it makes me want to play the Pathfinder card game, which is very funny. Mainly because they also have a Skull and Shackles expansion of that game. Anyway, we've I was joking about how long this intro was going to be earlier, but this I think our longest like pre-game chat has been like 10 minutes before, and I just feel like that's pushing folks.
Well, we're at 9 minutes now. So
oh gosh, let's get back into it and check in with Sprouts Marlowe to find out what happened last time on Cosmic Crit.
Out of nowhere, we were bugs again. I gotta tell you, I hate being a bug. But we were engaged in starship combat. An SDF ship was under bombardment by another swarm Dreadlancer. And this ship's days were numbered. Luckily, for some reason I'm sure we'll figure out later, we were possessing the other swarm ship and managed to convince the SDF that we were there to save their tails, and took out the unsuspecting swarm with some fancy flying and a handful of lucky shots. Oh, yeah. Emphasis on the lucky shots.
Super big emphasis on lucky shots.
Although we definitely had continued some unlucky shots.
We did. We have continued the podcast tradition of just doing flybys over and over again until we win. And we will do that until Patrick kills us all.
Flyby! We should evade occasionally, but really flyby is way more fun.
Yeah, if we can't fly by, then I think we should default to evade. But otherwise, it should just be spam flyby,
Yep.
Well, when you have, because those were all very low movement and maneuverability vehicles, when you have slow turning kind of, they feel like clunkers, the flyby is like super useful. But if you guys ever get a starship that's like high movement and maneuverability, I mean, you're just going to want to circle around and go to whatever side of the shields that you want.
Yeah. I tell you, I cannot wait until we get a starship combat where we are in 2-person fighters. So where it's like one person's by themselves, but then the other 4 are paired up to where you have, like a pilot and a gunner, and we do more kind of squadron style fighter combat. I think that will be very, very exciting. We have done a lot of big ship combat and medium ship combat. I'm ready to go tiny.
Yeah. There are rules for squadron combats and larger kind of starship mega battles in the Psalm, which you can check out, but they will not be in this AP, sadly.
That's okay. One day.
But yeah, let's get back into this adventure as you guys are indeed pulled from the starship combat out of the swarm meat mines and back into the mindscape. Back on course to go to these ruins in the mindscape. And it's a few hours later. You guys can take 10 minutes and rest up if you need to. That Seneca brings the sand barge to the outskirts of what looks like kind of an endless destroyed city. You see buildings rising from the silvery sand, each one seemingly constructed of different materials, and you see kind of wildly different design philosophies, some of them looking very alien to one another. Concrete poured walls brush up against what look like towering arches made of bricks, while crystalline growths dance around some more makeshift shelters. Perhaps would be more at home in like a jungle setting with leathery hides and bones and skulls making up the construction material. This mismatched ruins of a city indeed stretches for miles in each direction. Seneca will explain once again. It's like, yeah, this area is used by the swarm. I think the hive mind takes us as a place where it can develop battlefield strategies and run them through before they commit to an assault. You think they just overwhelm their victims with superior numbers and unstoppable killing machines, but they think about tactics a great deal.
Are there any tactics going on now?
If you maybe take a moment and kind of try and listen over like the winds of the mindscape, you perhaps could hear some far off chittering and perhaps what sounds like small arms or rifle fire.
Gotcha.
Seneca says, whatever it is you need to empower that crown, you're going to have to search through these ruins to find some kind of link to connection here, but be on the lookout because it will be making its idea forms, I'm sure, and trying to root you out if it senses you. While you guys are getting ready to go in, why don't you make me an engineering check as you're kind of walking through some of the these destroyed buildings. I guess maybe destroyed in some parts doesn't really take effect. You see some areas that look like city blocks with only like 2 or 3 stories of what would be a skyscraper, but they just kind of are not constructed all the way. They kind of just stop at maybe the 2nd and a half floor.
They look half done, something like that.
Yeah, you see,
or partially loaded in.
Parts of them seem to, it's like the Mindscape didn't need to think of all the floors if it was just going to use these bottom ones.
So 32 for Zinnia on engineering.
Right. As you're walking through, you indeed identify some of the buildings as places you've seen before. There's signs of Ultranian architecture as well that rise up as you get towards the center of the city. A place the swarm has not been yet, but you can tell this is taking over a lot of the Mindscape's thoughts in these ruins is perhaps a invasion of Ultranius.
Okay, and what exactly are we looking for here?
Some way to empower the crown of Hylax. This is the last vision that the comet of Hylax kind of gave to Echo 7, and indeed it was in ruins of buildings that looked very familiar to you. And now that you're here, you recognize these ruins as perhaps replicas of the streets of New Graca on Ultranius. And in the vision, Sprouts and Zinnia, you were both there just shooting wildly at kind of dark shadows and corners and fighting back the swarm.
Maybe it would make sense to think about what parts of Ultranius might the swarm be targeting, and we can kind of head off there, maybe SDF headquarters, for instance.
Yeah, why don't you make me a perception check now that you're here? in kind of New Graka territory.
Oh, and also, can we be kind of sneaking around?
Yeah, I mean, you guys can explain how you'd like to move through these buildings. There are city streets and there are structures. If you want to make yourself a target, I would say moving through the streets would be the best way to do that. And if you wanted to link through the buildings, you can do that as well.
Okay. Am I the only one rolling perception?
Well, you're the one that really needs to, because that's enough. 28
Okay.
is more than enough. As you're moving through here, you do indeed hear close by, perhaps around the corner, what sounds like laser pistol fire and humanoid screaming, like, someone shouting out in common, oh no, get them. I'm going to take us to a map.
I just want to say I was preparing a grenade while we were resting a few minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Grenade time.
Wonder what kind of grenade it might be.
Here's indeed. This could just very well be a map from book 2 of this adventure path from the planet Ultranius. And as you're moving through here, what would you guys like to do?
Zinnia would be happy to take the lead and kind of sneak around the corner and see if I can see anything. I think that Zinnia would remind herself, and maybe others too, that we are in a mindscape, and while these screams that we're hearing and things we may see may appear real, they may not actually be. I'm still not sure I understand what's happening here. So, not to be taken in by we can't be heroes here, right? Because these are imagined things potentially.
Once again, I think if you die here, you die in real life.
We can be heroes just for one day.
This is Freddy Krueger rules.
I agree that it was much easier when everything was mindscapey, but the Kasathan has really messed up my perception of what is actually going on here. So
yeah,
I agree we should be skeptical of anything we see.
Healthy dose of skepticism is necessary in this environment. I
don't want to kill anything that makes me go into another ship brain either.
I also have a skill that allows me to see things as they are.
That would be helpful.
Popping around the corner, indeed, you see what looks like a couple of large, lanky, not large, medium, but very tall, lanky swarm creatures with long, kind of like almost Mind Reaper-like claws, but they're huge and hooked, showing the art here for these guys, and they are indeed just going to town, disemboweling, decapitating what look like SDF soldiers. But as you get like a closer look at them, they're very vague and kind of like formless, almost like mannequins. And as they are destroyed, you see them just reverting to silvery sands here. Why don't you make me a stealth check, Zinnia, real quick?
Okay.
Oh no.
It's a 29, unless it's dim or dark, in which case it's a 31.
Full on brightness here, as I think that'll.
Oh, also I have my camouflage membrane still attuned to the sands. I don't know if that applies here since it's more like a cityscape.
Yeah, they as you're peeking around the corner, they do not seem to notice you. What would you like to do?
That's a great question. I'm still kind of fuzzy on what our end goal is here. I feel like engaging them wouldn't accomplish anything, right? I mean, maybe it would. I
don't know.
It's hard to say. Where are we in relation to like a landmark that we would recognize?
Unfortunately, like I said, these streets are just so mixed that you'd be on New Graka in one moment and then like stepping through the streets of Oods on Ilmchuva or Branoa on Suskelin or some other crazy alien architecture that you've never seen before. Just like every other block seems to be like a different construction. So as you've traveled a good deal towards the center of this city, but besides that, there's not much in the way of navigation here.
I have probably a really dumb question / idea. Is there any chance that as essentially acting parts of the mindscape right now that we can take on an assumed form from the sands ourselves?
So you guys are flesh and blood here. You're not part of the mindscape.
What we could do.
You're not like made of sand right now. I don't know if that has come across.
So we are physical beings inside of a mindscape. This is very confusing. Okay.
Yeah, like Seneca, she was kind of teleported here bodily, unlike some of the thought beings that are kind of ghost-like memories that you've heard here. But you guys are flesh and blood right now, at least from what you can tell.
What about these swarm that I see? Are they flesh and blood too?
Just taking a look at them, they indeed seem to be what is known as mindscape swarm creatures. So they, like most of the ones that you've encountered here, have the formless demise, where they explode into like a sand explosion and can stun you.
Okay. Tyler, do you have any ideas, questions?
So I think maybe Devasha would poke Zinnia and then like point at the rooftops and then shrug. Like, here's an idea. Maybe travel because I figure if we can try to sneak around these two and avoid the fight, or we can just go in and take them out and then figure out where we need to go from there. I think those are our two options. So if Zinnia wants to try to sneak around, maybe we could get on the rooftops, and then if they do spot us, we have a high ground advantage. But or we can just
why don't you
full akimbo.
Why don't you guys, where you're kind of observing the scene, make me a mysticism check?
Sure.
Sprout's wearing the crown of Hylax. I think you're able to sense that it wants to be empowered here through what it you kind of got through Echo's vision. I think you and Zinnia got to be blasting some fools, perhaps bringing war to the mindscape in its theater of war is what's going to empower it here.
Cool. Then can we kind of take a free turn?
Well, someone can start this combat if you would like with basically a free action. Yeah, but if you guys want to sneak into a position,
I feel like we need to get into position first.
Yeah, and Sprouts will basically kind of relay that to Zinnia is, just like, the vision we saw was you and me blasting things in an area that looked just like this. And Crown seems to want that too.
I mean, I guess that if we were to apply some semblance of logic to this situation, it would be unexpected for us to interrupt their simulation, right? So let's take them by surprise.
They always win these simulations. It's time for them to lose one.
So should I be hopped onto Zinnia's shoulder for this then?
No, I don't think I can carry you.
Yeah, and you can go where you want. Did you guys want to? You're all bunched up, kind of.
I'm just trying to remember what the vision was. Was it just us side by side?
I think we were standing next to each other or something.
Yeah, they were just visions. I mean, it was just you guys fighting here. So
okay,
it's sort of meaningless. We don't have to do exactly what the vision said.
Exactly.
I wanna try to sneak closer to them via the rooftops.
Okay, so you want to make a climb check for me to see if you can get up on the
I do
the rooftop here.
I assume Zinnia can fly, right?
I'd like to do that too, Patrick.
Athletics it is. Shabonga.
2
23s.
Yep. Yeah. So just for spacing purposes, I'm going to put you guys on these southern buildings because they're a little bit bigger than the ones up north. Maybe you double back around and get up on that building. Then if you can be on whatever side you want here. Tress, did you want to go up as well? Sorry, I moved your icon before I asked.
Yeah.
Make me a climb check. I'm sure you actually get it automatically.
Yeah, I have a jetpack, so I just
you're super fast to
scoot up.
Being melee, do y'all want to be up on the roofs? I mean, it makes sense for the range.
I'm going to do a cool thing where I jump down off the roof and then punch the living daylights out of one of them.
Well, I don't want to do that. I want to stay on the ground.
Okay, well that's fine. I'm sorry. Is just to paint the picture here, Zinnia, did you want to be by yourself on the north side of the street?
I was kind of thinking maybe we could
Trust
kind of
would
keep
probably
them.
go that way.
Yeah, if Trust were on that side, I mean, you can be down on the ground, but then we can kind of surround them, I guess.
Yeah, sort of do a little pincer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig that.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and I'll use my jetpack to sort of have it not matter whether or not I'm on the ground or not.
Oh, it's going to matter, all right, because climbing up the backsides of these buildings, it's not these swarm that you see in the street. It's the ones you don't see that were forming a pincer maneuver, obviously, because guys are not stealthy climbing up these buildings.
It's always the swarm you don't see.
I have so many ranks in stealth climbing, Patrick. You didn't ask.
I mean, Zinnia was definitely stealthy flying up there.
I have plus 10 to
I'm sure.
profession stealth climber.
They let out a call to these. There's two more out in the street. And with that, we're going to start the initiative turn order. Let's roll it up.
We're battle linked, right? So
It is a spell you've got to cast.
we need to remember to do that. So
Not my job anymore. You guys figure it out on your own.
Oh, right. The crown does that. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, you can. Well, I guess I asked for things you want to do to start off combat before, but you guys start climbing.
Where did we put the crown abilities? Oh, we don't
Rules
have
in
them listed.
our rules Discord channel.
I'll remember next time. Says the guy who can't even remember to use his own archetype.
I was about to say no. You
Oh,
won't.
okay. I see.
You liar.
Remind me, fans, when I forget later that I was full of baloney when I said that I'll remember next time.
All right. So don't forget that we can aid skill checks as a reaction, and we can also redistribute hit points.
Sprouts can.
Because he's the one
He's
wearing the crown.
Oh, only the wearer. Okay.
So we have to ask him to do it if we
Gotcha.
want to do it.
Okay.
Sprouts, Miles, you want to roll initiative for me?
Mhm.
Bango.
Oh, good. I thought you were about to waste a 20.
Bingo, bango. Okay. These guys let out an ear-piercing shriek, kind of calling out to their buddies before. And we're starting this combat off. Echo 7, you are first. There's one of these guys about 10 feet away from you.
Welly, well, wouldn't you know that I have 10-foot reach?
Mhm.
And I'm just looking to see if my hammer fist ability can be used twice. So I don't think it's a full action.
And it's just like a punch, right?
Yeah. It's treated as if I'm wearing a battle glove. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do something real dumb. I'm going to try to punch this fool twice.
Sure.
Great way to figure out what his KC is. High or low?
Punch the first. It's a 24
Hit.
for 20 points of damage. Actually, is that 24 points of damage? Because I don't think I built that into the macro. So yeah, it should be 24 points of damage.
Okay, well, give it a second attack. We'll see if you can narrow that KC down a little closer.
21 points, or 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
For 24 points of damage.
Oh, good call, Drew, on the double attack.
For once. All right, where's my...
21 hits. Is that like...
that is enough to bloody this guy who's just wanted to come up and say hello, and you gotta be all mean to them. Zinnia, we are next on to you. You've got one on the other rooftop with Trest all to yourself.
Can I try to identify this guy that's right in front of me?
Yes, I will say this will be an easier one as you have faced this form before. Do you remember?
In the mindscape or somewhere else?
In real life, IRL.
Oh.
Meat space.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember
Zinnia does.
fighting this thing in the meat space either.
Well,
39.
Like I said, I'm going to make this a little easier because you have technically fought these before. 4 pieces of information.
Wow. Okay.
These are revulsors. You fought them last in the University of in Uds, your alma mater, in the classroom. And if you remember, I'll tell you the most vital thing about them is their ear-splitting shriek ability.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and the shriek had a range. I can't remember.
They had a sonic blast. I believe that was 30 foot back in the day.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't want to be so close to these guys, do we?
All right. Yeah, knowing that Zinnia is going to back up. All right, so what else do we want to know? Do they have any resistances or immunities?
The typical revulsor did not, but because you've figured these guys out so well, these don't look like they are just made of like sand of the mindscape here. They look more crystalline, and from that, I think you can figure out they have a regenerative effect. Perhaps you can see the crystalline structures kind of like repairing itself on one of these creatures. They have fire 5 regeneration, which means it takes they heal up 5 HP each turn unless you hit them with fire damage.
Unless you hit them with fire damage.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
now
That prevents
I know.
their regenerative ability. Okay.
Yep. But
Starfinder trolls.
for the most part, I will. Well, yeah, 2 more pieces of information. So if you want to zero in, it might be just faster. Just kill these guys.
Yeah, it might be easier to just kill them. I think
But
I'm
with
done.
regeneration, you gotta burn them a little bit.
All right. Well, that is enough information for Zinnia. She's going to back up just a little bit and kind of fly up in the air. So I'm like, let's say 15 feet in the air, and take a shot with her laser pistol, which is fire damage. All right. So CR 11 or lower on the trick attack.
You're robbed of a 20.
So it's flat-footed, but it's only a 15 on the attack.
That's a miss, unfortunately.
Too bad.
Okily dokily. I've rolled for them, but we got Sprouts Marlowe first.
All right.
What you got?
So Sprouts is going to try to take out this bloodied one in front of him.
It's another KC attack.
It's a 5 on the trick, so that doesn't go off, but 23 to hit.
You don't know that. That is a successful trick.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And hit.
All right, so it is going to be flat-footed and take 31 points of damage.
So with that, I can do math. Yeah, this thing falls to the ground. It doesn't seem to be destroyed. Like it doesn't kind of split into like sand or explode like the other swarm creatures do. You see those wounds mending themselves on this creature on the ground. Guess I need to keep track of some hit points when it comes to its turn. But before that,
We didn't hit this one at all with fire, so it sounds like we might need to fire it up.
that before we get there, Trest, you've rolled high enough. You've beaten these guys as well.
Hooray. All right, let's see. I have, how many spells do I have? Ooh, I got some spells. I can't help but notice that this guy is more than 30 feet away from his allies.
Oh, yeah, and he's also like 10 feet up off the ground. So this one in front of you is isolated.
He is perfectly isolated. I'm going to take advantage of this, and I'm going to cast a level 4 Mind Thrust.
Believe it or not, Will, their worst save here. I think I forgot to boost their save, so let's see how we do.
Hooray. DC is 20.
Jabbert.
No, don't put this on me. Fart you, Patrick.
Jabbert, don't play spellcasters. I roll rocks for will saves. You know that about me. Natural 20 on the dice, so it has saved, but I imagine still taking how much damage? Like
a piddly amount of damage. Don't worry about it.
Isn't it like 7d10?
Well, 1 second. Hang on a second. It's gonna be a little. Let's see what level we were going to here. We're looking at level 3 spells. That's right, not level 4. Can't remember anything here.
Isn't this a level 4 Mind Thrust?
No, it's not level 4.
Oh.
A dookie little 20 points of damage.
I'm sorry.
Poo-poo you, Patrick. Poo-poo you.
Poo-poo's out. Did you want to take a move action or do anything else?
I make a move action and I flip him the bird.
That's for
all I got.
All right. That is going to take us to their turn. This one's going to move up on to you, Trest. Move right up next to you. This guy on the ground here, indeed, is going to heal this turn. Is still down on the ground after that. And the other two that are on the street are going to make some moves. And their full action is they're going to climb up on these buildings with their friends as well. We'll do one on each side. This one that's still up and on Trest, actually sitting even 15 feet up, you will be within a 30-foot cone. So both Trest and Zinnia, can you guys make me a Fortitude save? DC 17 Fortitude.
Oh, Zinnia makes it.
Oh no, Trest. Trest is downed. That is a fail. We've got some D6s coming at you of sonic damage, and Trest gets deafened by this ear-splitting shriek. In total, 25 points damage. That is all sonic damage.
Do I take half of that or no?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which would be 12?
12 points, sorry. All right. Let me just double check that is indeed. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is a reflex save, not a fortitude. There is a fortitude for the deafened ability, but the actual damage says here on Archive of Nethys is reflex. So we'll use your dice rolls. Do you have a better reflex, Trest?
Same.
Okay. But Zinnia, if you have evasion, then you're just skipping out of town.
Great.
Let's see here. Let me just double check. Yes, and then can you give me another roll, Trest, to see if you are deafened? I don't think it'll super matter here, but it does make some things a little more difficult. Oh no, 2 on the dice. Deafened as well by that attack. That is going to do it for their turn because there's a lot of movement required. Get them in position. And brings us to Devasho, the bottom of the turn order. Sorry, Tyler.
I'm the anchor. Big anchor in town. Cool. I can make the pretty easy. I guess I'm going to have to burn. Is Sprouts' gunfire? I can't remember.
Right now it is.
I don't want to waste.
Piercing,
yeah.
Okay.
Echo has a heavy weapon that's fire. I would rather not waste it on corpse.
Yeah, I'm gonna damage you a little bit, Echo and Sprouts, but it's probably worth it.
Dare you?
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna coat myself. I'm gonna wreath myself in fires.
Your smile
as
says
a standard
otherwise.
action, and I'm gonna move right into these 2 fools. In fact, is this one down? Can I just stand over it? or is it still like an
yeah.
unpassable? Okay, I'll do that.
I'm sorry. This one's down here to the south.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll stand over them, and hopefully, because I am wreathed in flame, that will help prevent him from regenerating. Because he's going to take fire damage on his turn. But unfortunately, that is my whole turn economy because I am so spoiled by PF2E.
That's quite all right. It's going to take us to turn 2 with Echo 7.
So do I need to worry about the one that is in the south now?
Nope. You don't need to. The one below me, the one below Devasho, you don't have to worry about because anything near Devasho is going to take fire damage. So if they're near me, I'm going to stop their, or if they hit me, it's going to stop their regeneration. So I don't think you have to worry about them.
Okay, let me see here.
Oh, by the way, you take 5 points of fire damage, as does Sprouse. Again, I'm sorry.
How much, Tyler?
5.
5.
All right. Sorry, I'm just checking ranges on something because I think I want to do something else here.
Are we still in round 2?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Oh, we're at the top of. Oh yeah, we're still round 2. Yeah.
Are you okay?
We're at the very beginning of round 2, y'all.
Are you okay, Jabert?
No, you
Just
cut out.
dying inside.
All right. Echo doesn't want to shoot through Devasho, but he sees that across the street here, there's one that is menacing his buddy Trest. He's going to take a shot. Heavy fire.
Oh, yeah. There's two over there.
Yeah, but to the one that is right there.
Okay.
Try to take that sucker out. Oh, toot toot kaboom. That's an 18.
Oh, you know that's a miss, baby. That's going to bring us to Zinnia, Rebecca.
All right. Zinnia sees 2 in front of us. There has been a new one that has joined the roof. She is going to take aim at that one. Actually, I'm going to fly up farther in the air. Because my pistol has a 90-foot range, so I might as well get more than 30 feet away from these things.
What's your movement speed? Your fly speed?
It is currently 40. So I can go up.
You can get another 20 feet straight up, putting you at 35 foot.
All right. That works.
Does it?
Maybe.
We'll see.
I hope. And take a shot. So I'm aiming at the southern one. All right. So Sierra 13 or lower on the trick attack and a 26 on the attack.
Tricked and hit. Yes.
Awesome. So that one is flat-footed. Yeah, flat-footed and 11 fire damage.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, that's all. It's all fire damage.
Yep.
So that's going to stop that one. I will put on a little red symbol if they've taken damage on
Oh, right.
that turn.
I forgot about the trick damage. Yeah, so 33 damage altogether.
I already wrote that down. Sprouts Marlowe, on to you.
Okay. So can I switch my gun? I don't think I sold my Red Star plasma pistol. So I kind of switch that out. Well, that's what, a full action?
I mean, it's a move action to pull it out if you just want to drop your other pistol.
I wouldn't this turn because Devasho is taking care of the fire stuff for the ones that we have on our side.
Oh, so it's if as long as they take fire that turn.
For the turn, yeah. If they're unconscious, then they're.
I apologize. I misunderstood that. Then I am going to blast the one in front of chest.
Okay, all right. Shooting across the way there as well. What's the distance on your auto pistol? This is like a level 3, right?
Yeah, it's 60 feet.
Okay, Dokley.
This one right here?
One in front of Tress is across the buildings.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant like
Devasho?
Isn't Tress right
Wow.
Old bugs look alike, huh, Miles?
Well, no, on my screen, Trest is right next to me.
Trest is on the other building.
You might want to reload roll 20.
I'm sorry because my
that's
screen,
okay. It's not your fault.
On my screen, it was very, very different.
You must have been confused while I'm asking about your range. If it's like 10 feet away.
Yeah, no, I was like, why is he? I was very confused.
All right, well, in front of Devasho, make that attack.
So the one that's on the corner there, and what the all out of sorts. Gonna go with this, and that is CR 15 or lower.
Oh boy, operatives are overpowered. Hit and crit.
He's flat-footed, and 28 on the attack.
Yeah, how much damage is that Toto?
33 points of damage.
Okay. Not quite bloodied, but still very hurt. Got a couple of these guys. Well, they all have damage on them. Tress, as we get back to you, you do see this one in front of you, healing up some of that psychic explosive damage in its crystalline form. How would you like to answer it this turn?
I don't have fire damage, so I'm going to spend a level 2 spell.
Ooh.
And activate Weapons of War and chop it. Chop it like it's hot.
All right.
Chop it like it's hot. Chop it like it's hot.
Oh, yeah.
23 to hit.
Hit.
35 points of damage.
Okay. All right. That one is right in front of you. Bloodied, I will say, as you're chopping off bits of its spiky exterior. It will go back to their turn, and it will heal up. Boop, just a little bit of that. The one in front, besides you on the same rooftop, does not heal up as it's still taking a little bit of fire damage. At the beginning of this turn, this one will heal up in front of Devasho, but then immediately, is it at the beginning of its turn as well? It takes the fire.
The start
damage?
of its turn, it takes 5 fire.
Okay, well, I'm gonna order these, and it regenerates first, and then takes some fire damage,
That's
which will
fine.
stop it on previous turns. So it won't lose or gain any HP here, but it has stopped its regeneration until it gets away from you. And this one underneath you does the same, but then actually no, the one underneath you, if that same thing happens, it's up and at like 1 HP actually. So he'll pop out from underneath you and stand up, and he gets a second slice of life here, which is good because I forgot one of their abilities. So let's start this combat turn off with them. Both of these ones on the southern rooftop with Devasho, Echo 7, and Sprouts. Why don't you guys make me 2 reflex saves?
Oh,
Give you a
pronk.
2 as you're getting blasted with sonic damage.
You said reflex, right?
2 of them, yep. All right, a success and a fail from Drew. A fail and a success from Devasho, and of course Sprouts rolling rocks on reflex, taking no damage here. So let's roll this up for the good old boys. And can both of you make me 1 fortitude save?
Absolutely.
What the pronk?
A natural 1 on that. You are also deafened as per the
What?
condition. 15 plus 24. You take 39 points of damage, Echo 7, and Devasho a little bit more than that as you failed the other way. 12 plus 29. What are we talking about here?
That's fine.
What's the math here?
You said 30
41.
You said 35?
I think so, yeah. 15. No, 39 to Drew.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Zinnia, this one's going to move right underneath you and do the same ability up at you, and we'll have 30 foot to hit this round.
But I'm 35 feet in the air, right?
And he's 5 feet up, so he's just blasting it straight up.
Gotcha.
But you're going to roll a rock here for reflex, so it's probably a wasted turn.
I hope so. It's a 20. It's not great.
I mean, it's a success. So
Oh, good.
Whatever. You just need a success to dodge nimbly out of the way as it is shrieking up at you. And Tress, this one's going to make a couple of attacks. Going to try and claw at you right in front. Oh, boy. 3 1s, an 11 and a 1. That what is your armor class right now?
My KC is 28.
2 misses.
Oh boy.
I shouldn't have gotten greedy. I would have gotten a hit in. And that is going to be their turn. Let's go over to Devasho. Now that you have this flame ability up, it just stays up, right?
Yeah. So
everyone within 5 feet of you on their turn gets 5 points fire damage.
Yep. So I will be reminding everyone of that. And
Sprouts Marlowe, did you take that on your turn?
He did. He did.
Yuck.
I made sure of it. Okay, let's do one single attack against the one that was almost already dead anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just going to bash you with the shield. 25, we know hits for 32 points of damage.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to crush this thing into the ground. I will say, after it getting up the first time, I'm just going to let this guy die, as it's going to go into formless demise. And I need the 3 of you to make me a will save. That is, once again, Devasho, Echo 7, and Sprouts.
Oh, no.
Come on.
I'm sure you'll be happy to know I boosted the DC for this, Drew, to 15. 15 for a save and a failure. You are blasted with the Mindscape sands as this form explodes in front of you. You are staggered for 1 round. And of course,
in the interest of fairness, that 17 is actually a 14 because don't I have -3 to will?
if that's one of the negatives you've got in the Mindscape right now. Oh no, Devasho, both of your teammates behind you staggered, but you've rolled a natural 20. You could have all the negatives you want right now. Tyler, somehow come out on top of this will save.
So good.
Roll.
I'm going to hit your other creature now.
Oh, you've got another attack. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm using cleave, so.
Oh, get that free attack.
Oh my goodness. 19 on the dice, 31 points of damage.
Sick of rolling rocks.
As Devasha wheels around and tries to smash a mind bug with a shield.
Mm-hmm. It is,
and that's my whole turn.
Nearly destroyed, of course.
So I think
Almost.
cleave can only be used against a foe that's adjacent to the previous one.
Oh, right. Against a foe that is adjacent. Well, then can I use 3 feet you can spend? You're
you
right.
can just make a second attack against him.
You're right. No, I said I was going to make a single attack. So I'm sorry, Patrick. I misread cleave.
How dare you? Take it.
Thank you, Jabert.
Sorry.
Get a little more hit points.
No. Truly, I don't want to get corrected in Discord.
No. That's is that how it works in Pathfinder? Is it the enemies adjacent?
Yeah, they have the bad guys have to be next to each other.
That makes sense. I thought for some reason I thought it might be different in Starfighter. No, it makes sense. Let's go on to turn 3, Echo 7. Back to you, staggered, sir.
Oh, so not much I can do here. Devasho's already put some heat from.
Oh, you know what you can do? You can take 5 points of damage.
I did already, so we're good. It's fine. It's fine.
You can take a standard action here if you'd like.
Trying to determine whether I want to punch or shoot. I'm gonna punch. That's gonna be how we do this, I think. Actually, no. I take it back. I'm gonna shoot. Just single shot.
One in front of Devasho.
Yeah, I'm gonna peek around. I'm tall enough. I can just kind of lean around the wall.
The wall of bug that is
Yes.
Devasho.
That's a 34 to hit.
Yeah, he was getting some cover from Devasho, but 34 is a hit.
23 points of fire damage, and
Ooh, that plasma ray, yeah. So keeping it up, that it will bloody this revulsor, and take us to Zinnia's turn.
All right, Zinnia is going to fly straight up in the air another 20 feet
My only weakness.
and is going to shoot her pistol straight down at this bug that is attacking her.
How dare you? I did literally nothing to you. Oh, another super hit here. Goodness.
That is a CR 13 or lower on the trick attack, so it's flat-footed, and a 32 on the attack.
Oh, this damage.
For a total of
38?
38? Is that
38?
right?
I think we could both do math. 38?
38 fire damage.
Can we?
That one is looking like he should be in the dirt as well, but you just see him kind of like staggering on like one leg, the other one nearly destroyed, seemingly the will to continue fighting. But yeah, flat-footed. Sprouts Marlowe, you've got a standard or a move action now. If you want to switch guns, might be the time to do.
No.
All right.
Also take another 5 points of fire damage.
Also no.
I'm sorry, but that one...
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yeah,
Where
in
I'm not
my
on fire.
mindscape, I am fireproof. Oh man, I was going to make a Buffy joke, but that's in poor taste. All right, so I'm going to fire at this last living feller. CR 11 and 28 to attack.
Boy, howdy, straight rocks.
Yeah, so that is 37 to hit, or 37 points damage, and he's flat-footed.
Yeah, this one looks like he should be down as well. Should be still standing, though, after that. Still standing as we go on to Trest. Oh, wait, the trick damage doesn't go through. You only had standard action on that round. Sorry, Miles.
Oh.
But still, that is enough to seemingly destroy this one. But it's still standing. All right, what you got, Chipert?
I'm making a double attack.
Oh, my. You figured out they have fairly low AC. Oh, no.
Hit that cack.
31.
Yay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 34 points of damage.
Okay, once again, this one should be dead. Still standing.
Oh boy. Well, good thing I got a second attack.
Yeah.
23 points. Or 23 to hit.
I will... Ooh, this is very confusing. I will peel back the GM curtain a bit here. This guy has ferocity. So it is down now, but it also has the regeneration, so is not dead yet. But
okay,
you've put it way into the negative hit points. So for intents and purposes,
36 points of damage.
We might be, he might be out of combat. Anyway, now I would recommend just standing more than 10 feet away from him before you do some fire damage. But that is going to be your turn, which brings us to their turn. You do see the crystalline structures kind of repairing themselves on the revulsor in front of you. And without a target for its vocal ability, unfortunately, this one is going to focus on you as well, Trest. And it's going to move forward and make a single attack. No. And miss. So the 5 on the dice.
Oh,
the one's
another way.
Still alive down here. Let's make an attack on Devasho. Single attack. This one's looking pretty haggard. A 4 on the dice. Great. All right. Completely useless. They're fairly low creatures. And Devasho, we're on to your turn. This one does look like it'd be knocked over with a feather.
All right, cool. Well, unfortunately, I like to use really big feathers when I knock things over.
Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. No, if this thing takes
5 points of fire
damage at the beginning of its turn, that is going to be enough to kill it, because with ferocity, if you take any damage while you're in the ferocity mode, you die. So why don't instead, at the start of your turn, you, Sprouts, and Echo 7 give me another will save.
So
DC
happy for a
15
second.
Will save. Hey, you're killing the bad guys.
I'm not upset. You had like 3 turns to move 5 feet in any direction, and you never did it. So,
oh, Miles, another failure. Oh, Tyler, a failure here too. Okay, well that's good, because that influences this turn. Obviously, you have now just the move or the standard action, Devasho.
I mean, there's nobody else on our roof, so
you have destroyed them with your fire damage. Bet you had taken that Solarian fly ability. Now you'd be on that other rooftop, just giving them the what for.
Would be a little nice. And if I had at least gone to Graviton Attunement, I could have just wormholed over there. Don't have that either. I'm Photon attuned.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I will jump off the roof and begin making my way over to the other roof.
Sure. Give me a simple reflex save here.
Can do.
I guess
15.
You're fine. You can clamber down the side of this destroyed building without taking 0 damage. Turn 4, Echo 7. You're no longer staggered.
Excellent.
You see one down on the ground in front of Trest and one still up on the other rooftop.
Jabert, table talk. How mad would you be if I took 2 shots at these fools to your left and your right?
Be my guest.
Then I'm going to do that very thing. First, we're going to start with the one on the left. And
that's still up.
The one that's still up. Can I make a choice on which one I do after I do the first shot? Or do I have to declare both of them now?
Yeah, do you want to try and drop that one?
I want to try and drop that one, but I want to reserve the second shot for based on what happens to the first. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Cool. Shot the first. 22 to hit.
Against EAC, that is a hit.
21 points of damage.
Okay, it's still up, I will say that, but yeah, it's now taken some fire damage, so pretty sure that regeneration is going to be put off for a turn.
So the other one has no fire damage on it, but Zinnia is there with the fire pistol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to take another shot at the one on the western portion of the map then.
Oakley dokley. Oh, yeah.
28, but another 21 points of damage.
Yes, that will be enough to drop it to 0 hit points, but it's still up. For some reason, it still wants to murderize Tress. Zinnia, we are on to you. And they look like they're on their last legs down there, these Mindscaper revulsers.
I'm going to do something I haven't done as Zinnia before and take 2 shots and not trick.
Ooh, okay. So just
one at each
double
of
tap
them.
with the plasma pistol.
Yeah, in an attempt to get fire damage on both
Laser
of them.
pistol. Yeah. All right.
So ignore this trick roll. And this will be -4 to each of these, right? It's been a while since I did this.
Yeah, is this one flat-footed until the end of your next turn with trick attack or beginning?
I don't think it matters because that's a 25 to hit.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't. All right. That will be enough, even in its ferocious mode here, to kill this one. Actually dead as it explodes, and make that second attack, and we'll see how fun this combat has been.
Oh, that's only an 18.
That against EAC, that is going to be a hit.
Oh,
this guy is
look at that.
defenseless here.
But doesn't he get a bonus from being prone on the ground, Patrick?
It's a +4, doesn't he?
I think if you're conscious, yes. Yeah. But if you're
versus dead.
You're just
like
lying
laid
there.
out.
Can't roll out of the way.
No, I don't think he should get a bonus.
Yeah. You're treated as having a dexterity of 0 when helpless. So I would think both melee and range attacks a little bonus. That's going to give, of course, Tress the ability to make 2 will saves here to beat off
sorry
being,
about that.
being
Sorry,
staggered.
brother.
But we're out of combat, so it doesn't really matter. Just for funsies. Makes both of them and walks away.
Nice.
Really taking the brunt of this. How are you guys doing? Do you need a 10 minutes?
Oh, yes.
I can
rest.
perform first aid on someone if necessary. Is anyone in HP damage? No?
Devasha would like some first aiding.
All right.
How are
Zinnia
you
will
doing?
come down.
Tress, Jabert.
I have the tiniest amount of HP damage.
Oh, just a little tickle.
Yeah.
Oh,
I rolled a 1 on my medicine check. That's terrible.
Not an auto
I
fail.
might give myself a little Mystic Cure just to pop that up a little bit.
sure.
But with my advanced med kit, the DC is only 15, right? Am I getting that confused?
Or DC 20. I can't remember which.
While you guys are up here, before you get down, give me a perception check.
So 30 for Zinnia.
I don't know why I set these DCs so low. Okay.
It's a 30 for Echo too. Oh,
Lots of
amazing
them.
what wisdom can do for your
Patrick,
character.
wait. Does a 36 get the DC?
I set it at 25. I was like, that's pretty high, right?
Here, Patrick, I'll make you feel better. I'll actually roll perception for Devasho.
Yeah.
14. So there you go.
Okay, Devacho.
Somebody doesn't see it.
I thought we forgot we have like some super high perceptions. But there's like a little conning nest, like overlooking the building square here, and in it you find indeed what looks like the remains of a soldier who's disappeared, but left behind some actual kind of like physical weapons. There is a sniper rifle, a plasma guide series 42 sniper rifle marked with symbols of Demoratosh, leading you to believe this might indeed be perhaps a Vesk weapon, and it has on it an unholy fusion. There are 3 Mark II pulse grenades. And marred by deep claw marks, though still functioning, there is a set of Defiance, Specialist Defiance Series armor, which I believe I looked up before, and I think is light armor, maybe?
Why wouldn't it be?
The Defiance Series is... Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is heavy.
Oh,
My mistake. That's level 10 armor, and the sniper rifle, the Series 42 plasma sniper rifle, might be of interest to you. Not a ton of people that can use the sniper rifle, but Zinnia.
I wish I could, because how hilarious would it be to have this
just a giant 10 times the size of them.
Yeah.
I would force you to use a move action to like aim it.
Am I the only one that has specialization in that right now?
No.
Zinnia.
The
Zinnia
operators
does?
both do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, he just can't use
I physically cannot use that weapon.
It's physically too large.
I am 16 inches tall.
You know,
Zinnia can also fly far, far away and use a sniper rifle. And I do that a lot, in case you haven't noticed.
This is a pretty powerful one. The Series 42 is a level 11 sniper rifle with a 70-foot range, 500-foot sniper range, which is like if you take a move action to like use the scope, you get the extreme range. It does 3d8 electricity and fire damage and has the severe wound critical, which means you're
Nice.
blasting off arms and legs and all that good stuff.
3d8? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Whoa.
And
Yeah,
it was a. Go ahead, Drew.
My heavy weapon is 3d10. 3d8 is pretty nice.
Especially for the distance you can fire it at. And the armor was Defiance Series Specialist.
Correct. Level 10 armor there.
And is level 10 armor trust. Do you want that?
Let's talk offline.
We'll talk about
Sounds
some
good.
episodes. That's a pretty big one as well. You think indeed perhaps an actual soldier like Seneca might have been sucked up into the swarm's mindscape somehow, and did his best to take some out here in the ruins, but has passed away since. As you guys bring this weapons down and kind of brush off the fight, the kind of shards of glass-like material that made up these creatures, you see kind of, they look like they're about to regenerate once again, but you see just parts of each of them coming together, and some of the these faceless SDF soldiers that were destroyed by them down the street, forming together in what looks like a being, a humanoid being made of light that kind of walks forward towards you. This kind of faceless, crystalline, glowing creature. There are 3 small spikes that adorn its head, and it kind of looks like it is wearing a crystalline copy of the crown of Hylax. And it just kind of like reaches out a hand, and once again, you guys all sense that this figure is going to help empower the artifact. And once more, it will require a sacrifice of some sort.
Have we not sacrificed enough?
Sprouts most certainly has.
It is up to you if you want to pass it off. If you want to take this together, like last time, the more people that sacrificed together empowered the ability more, so you could use it more often.
Now, these things only, let me make sure I have this right. The negatives that we get for this sacrifice are permanent only in the mindscape, correct?
Oh, you have no idea.
We don't know that.
Oh, I thought you mentioned that. I thought you said something earlier.
I think all that's ever been implied.
Except this evil curse.
Yeah, Debasha will do this one as well, since he has sat out on many of them.
Yeah, Zinnia will definitely participate too.
Zinnia has gotten away from a couple of them, right?
Yes, I think she's only done one of them.
Echo 7 will also volunteer as tribute.
Oh, Miles, you sitting out?
I think Sprouts is, he's the little guy's a little tuckered out.
Yeah. Everyone deserves an orange slice and a Capri Sun every once in a while.
So I think, is just probably his jacket and hat kind of smoking, and he's got a more worse for wear. He just kind of limply gives the crown to Zinnia, and he's like, I got no more to give right now.
Yeah, I think Zinnia is feeling a little bad. Rebecca's feeling a little bad that she hasn't been, one of the ones to ask for the crown, I guess. I don't think she's worn it yet.
Yeah, well, this is your chance. I think everyone else has stepped into this sacrificial position. So as the 4 of you step forward, Zinnia wears it this time, and the rest of you can kind of like link hands as you touch this being. And as you do, there's a soundless blast of psychic energy that kind of feels like it cleanses these city streets, maybe knocks you back a little bit. And yeah, you just feel like a pain coursing through your hands, your arms, down to your feet, as this figure will kind of crack and crumble into dust in front of you guys. And you once more feel the crown, Zinnia, now is humming, is giving off a heat signature, and is radiating light. It has become a fully empowered.
Oh, doctor.
But unfortunately, you guys have taken the sacrifice. You have sacrificed to empower this thing with your martial strength.
Son of a gun!
This sacrifice indeed feels an increasing link to the artifact, but will give you a -2 penalty to attack and damage rolls.
Oh, come on.
I had a feeling that was coming.
And damage. Range.
Even if dexterity is... Oh, God.
Attack and damage, yeah.
You said minus what?
-2. So basically using your level 2 spell.
Patrick, how often do you talk to Thurston?
Thurston Hillman is a good friend and a fun
great.
writer.
Tell him I hate him.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to put this in my character sheet.
We're just gonna have to remember, and you can just go over to the. I mean, there's a whole area for melee or ranged attacks and thrown attacks. I think you can just slap in a -2.
Yeah, you just
well, that works for the attacks, but not for damage, right?
Well, damage, you can just go into your macro and add a negative. I mean, you can add it. There's
that's true. Okay.
But now, instead of once per day, you have the spell Mind Thrust. Whoever's wielding the crown at the moment can cast Mind Thrust 3 times per day.
Oh, great.
Level 3.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Thurston.
Mind
You
Thrust.
I like how half of the crown's abilities have just made Tress abilities.
Yeah, Tress is obsolete at this point.
I know, seriously. It just turns whoever's wearing it into me.
It's not the crown of Hylex, it's the crown of trust mitigation.
It's like Thurston knew when he was writing this. He's like, I'm just gonna
dump your
remake
mystic down this dookie hole.
One of them does heal HP, which is pretty hilarious.
It's so annoying.
Oh, yeah, it's real hilarious.
He's foreshadowing a death.
It's hysterical.
As you guys obviously return back to the ship, empowered but still somewhat defeated, Seneca will welcome you back and says, well, is that thing then? Yeah, you all ready to use that thing against the swarm?
Actually, I'm kind of feeling a bit irritated. I could use a nap. But I think in terms of its empowerment, I believe it is ready to deal some damage.
Well, we can head back to the refuge and you can talk to that fella Independence. But see what they got to say what to do next, where we strike next. I imagine smiting the champions inside the swarm zone mindscape. You all probably have a whole heap of soul bucks to spend too, I imagine.
I don't know that.
I'm going to find an item that gives me plus 2 to
what
attack
soul
and damage.
bucks are. I, as GM, can give you a grand total here, which will be split amongst you all. Since you last left the refuge, you guys have collectively earned 170,000 credits worth of soul bucks.
Soul bucks.
Seneca says, enjoy spending them. Take a nap. We'll get you back to the refuge, and next week you can spend all them soul bucks. But first, a to be continued. Next time.
Oh, doctor.
Got some shopping to do.
Soul bucks.
So hold on. We're going against the swarm, but still in the mindscape, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Mind swarm.
Okay.
Mindscape swarm. 170,000 is about 34K for each of you guys. So take a look at that. Take a look at the gear that you've acquired here. Make a flow chart of all your abilities, including whoever wants to wear the crown. And we'll get back into the action next week. But until then, thanks for playing with me, everybody.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Patrick.
Listeners, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next time on Cosmic Crit.
Yeah, hard.
Bye.
Oh, wait, that's the other one.
Yar. Yeah, you're Mindscape pirates.
Yeah, we're on a sand ship.
Yar, this is Pirate Andesar.
Yeah.
There we go.
You've been listening to Cosmic Crit, an officially licensed partner of Paizo Incorporated. The Starfinder role-playing game and adventure paths are trademarks of Paizo. All Pathfinder and Starfinder images are property of Paizo and are used with permission.